Hopefully this works. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Brandon Simmons for BrandonSimmons.biz. This is my weekly video blog called Bullheaded, review of the Houston Texans news, as well as a preview of their upcoming game matchups. So this week, the Texans are going to be on the road, taking on the Denver Broncos to finally get a win or a loss to start their season off. But we'll get into all that on what they need to do um, in a few minutes. So first, let me do a really quick week one recap because my computer's been tripping all last night for whatever reason. Well, actually, not my computer. My camera's been tripping. So um, if you if I'm kind of rushing through this, please forgive me. Um, Hopefully, I have all this figured out by the next episode. But let's just get through this and we'll see what's up. So, first things first. The tie should not count as a tie. It should count as a loss. I'm gonna just throw that out there just to get to the point. Um, Texans. My biggest thing is that they went into the fourth quarter with a 20-3 lead. Then they just completely blow the lead. It seems like they like the defense is playing great. Offense, they had a late start. Offense had a late start, but they still made some plays in the second and third quarter. But it seems like in the fourth quarter, when after the Colts kicked that field goal to make it 20-6. When Davis Mills got sacked and lost that fumble, that's where the momentum changed for me. And because after that, when the offense got the ball back, they couldn't do nothing with it. They, just missing passes, couldn't get no points, couldn't move the ball. It was weird. It was wild. It was like, yo, you were kind of balling. I'm not gonna say balling out. You were doing great, these last couple quarters. You need to keep doing that. What's the issue? So that was where the momentum shifted for me, and it was a shame because we were set up for like one of the biggest redemption storylines ever. Matt Ryan of all people was about to complete the biggest comeback of the season, of the weekend, obviously. And, and this is the same Matt Ryan who was on the wrong end of the 28-3 debacle in the Falcons Patriots Super Bowl. So, ironically, in Houston. So, that happened to us. That just would have been a total letdown. So that's the only shining light that I can take from this tie. Other than that, I'm counting it as a loss. And aside from that, the defense, they played great from start to finish. They made a lot of big plays from start to finish, but they also, they made some crucial mistakes when they shouldn't, when they did not need to make crucial mistakes. Offense, I'm going to put a little bit of more blame on them for this because, they started off bad, or they didn't, start off like they didn't have no pep in their step, coming out the gates. And so, they how you start is how you finish. You know what I'm saying? So they started off kind of slow. They finished like slower. And especially in the fourth quarter and overtime when they're trying to win the game, we got all these pre-snap penalties, all these false starts, holdings or whatever, guys in illegal motion. Like, that pushed the offense back, and now they're out of field goal range to go down the field and like put this thing away. So a bad effort on both parts, but I would definitely put all this on the offense as far as like not keeping things going and closing out. So, with all that said, yes, I'm going to reiterate again, this tie is not a tie, it's a loss. And, if they have more victories, they should have more losses. So, the Texans, we all realized, this is a new group, essentially, a young group as well. And so they're kind of learning how things go in the NFL. Um, but yeah, part of that is like, well, not part, most of it is putting it all together to win games, learning how to win games. In a situation like that, when you're up 20-3, you need to learn how to win games. You need to learn how to protect the ball, how to control the clock, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to like learn these things. You need to learn how to capitalize on that and put the games away. Because like I said, Matt Ryan, he's older, but he's still like a veteran. He's been in those wars. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's been in those playoff games. You know what I'm saying? So he's been, hell, he's had comebacks put on him. So in a sense, he kind of knows, you know, at this point he kind of knows like what not to do, you know what I'm saying? Or he's kind of figured out like how teams have come back against him. He can, take that information and relay it to like his his new teammates and be like, oh, when such and such, did when we were up so many points, such and such did this to us. So we got to do that to these guys in front of us. You know what I'm saying? So it's things like that, and it's not, and he has the tools to do it. Michael Pittman, he had a good game. Jonathan Taylor, he started off slow as well, but he ended up with a huge game as well. So we just have to learn how to can start off strong early and just keep doing that consistently throughout the game. That's part of learning how to win games. So that's all I got to say for that one. Other things coming up this week, Justin Britt is going to miss this Sunday's game. Head coach Lovie Smith decided that it was for personal reasons that he's been out the last couple of days. So I believe Quessenberry is going to be starting at center this weekend. Head coach Lovie Smith also says that he wants more carries for Dameon Pierce. And I'm glad. I think that's a welcoming sign for a lot of fans, media, whatever. Everybody's been a huge, like, aside from all the things they said about, Davis Mills or whatever, Damian Pierce has been a welcoming, um, addition as far as like, everybody's just been really bragging on him as far as like training camp all the way through preseason, all that. He played that one preseason game. Everybody was floored. They were blown away about how great he was. And, so much so that obviously they treated him like a starter and they sat him in week 2 of the preseason, which I was kind of, at the time, you're kind of shocked by it because it's like, hey, he's a rookie. He needs to, what I'm saying, get these reps in. But, he's also, he's definitely, a supreme talent. And they were, kind of shocked he wasn't in for the later, quarters or whatever in the game last weekend. So hopefully, him getting more carries is going to translate into some more wins. Definitely make it an effective part of the offense. Something that'll get the ball moving as far as like in a mix approach as opposed to like running the ball on 3rd and 7 or 3rd and long or something like that. So yeah, so hopefully it'll be something that'll definitely get the passing game going a little bit more. So with that being said, it's time to talk about what the Texans got to do to get a something on the board because a tie, technically it isn't a loss, but technically it isn't a win either. So they're going to have a tougher chance going on the road this weekend to Denver to face the Denver Broncos, and they'll be up against Russell Wilson, who the Broncos got in the off season this past off season, and so their Broncos, they're equally mad as well. Well, actually, they're probably way madder than or hungrier for a win, considering they're coming off a loss to the Seattle Seahawks, Russell's old team, excuse me, on national TV. And top it off, they lost the game because the kicker missed the field goal, and that's a whole other story for them. But they're gonna be Broncos are gonna have their home opener this weekend. The fans are gonna be hyped. The team is gonna be obviously be hyped. But the Texans, they have to be equally as hyped, equally as hungry, probably even more hungry to come in here and just kind of face their competition because the Texans, they tied up with they before this actual tie, they actually squared up against a Super Bowl caliber quote unquote quarterback, and they almost beat them, with a pretty good team. So Texans should have all the confidence in the world right now that they can go in and handle their business on the road. So 3 things they really got to do. First thing, protect Davis Mills. As simple as that. That's one of the cornerstones um, that they have to come out here and be prepared to do. Um, the O line gave up 3 sacks in week one. They need to protect him. Give him more time to find the receivers. Because yes, we did. Davis Mills did a great job. OJ Howard did a great job on building their connection together for 2 touchdowns. Excellent, excellent. Especially with OJ Howard being there for less than a week. But um, I can also see Davis Mills like kind of going after other receivers, Chris Moore, Chris Conley, you know what I'm saying? I can see him like going after those guys and, just trying to find them in the offense, just spreading the ball around, in addition to Brandon Cooks and Nico Collins. But yeah, just spreading the ball around, um, making that aerial attack get better as it possibly can. I really like to see that, especially going up against some of the teams we got this year, but definitely this weekend, going up against a quarterback like Russell Wilson who can get the ball around, to different tight ends, receivers, running backs, all types. He'll utilize his weapons. So I definitely want to see Davis Mills protected so he can utilize his particular weapons to move the ball around and get it downfield. Um, Second thing, continue bringing the pressure. Uh, we only had defensive line only had like 2 sacks, but they were really early on. They were really making some plays at the line of scrimmage. Defensive line was really winning the battle of the line of scrimmage, and so they just gotta bring that pressure, win that battle, get physical. Because the Broncos they have Melvin Gordon, and they have uh, why am I going to forget his name right now? Javante Williams. That was pretty. They had some, and those two guys, they had some pretty solid games. Last week, aside from the fumbles that they made at the goal line. So, it's week one. You can't really bet on these two, like just fumbling, at the goal line or anywhere else. Um, but I would definitely say just win that battle at the line of scrimmage, and not just just stop the run, but also to just get after Russell Wilson. He's going to scramble, so the best thing to do is just keep bringing the pressure and keep him in containment. So force him. I mean, he can throw. Yeah, it's going to sound crazy to say force him to throw, but it's more so about forcing him to make a quicker decision, uh, which hopefully leads into a wrong decision. So, yeah, just bring the pressure on Wilson. Third and final thing the Texans need to do: finish this game. Simple as that. They have to finish this game. So, and this is if they have a big lead, you have to put that game away. Simple, just simple. So, I talked about Lovey Smith saying that, um, Pierce coming in and getting more carries. This is where he's going to be effective at. If the Texans get a big lead, just controlling that clock, keeping the ball away from the offense, from the opposing offense, and just keep grinding it out, man. Finish the game. These guys are. It's the Denver Broncos, yes, but it's also Russell Wilson. He's good. He's very very good. He's good at football. What they say on the internet. So, um, look, man, just finish the game because you don't want to be caught in a situation where he's there to win. Because I mean, yeah, last week's game against Seattle. That was pretty much like a blunder for them, but I'm pretty sure they learned their mistakes going forward this week. So, finish the game. If we get a big lead, put that game away. Do all we can to put that game away. In fact, if we get a big lead early on, just keep playing. And there's nothing wrong with like kind of staying aggressive. Um, as far as like throwing the ball or whatever and all that other stuff. But if you have a big lead, but make sure that you're smart. The same smart things that you did to be aggressive early on, use those same smart principles um, to be aggressive, later in the game. And if anything, if there's no open receivers, then throw it away. But so part of winning, finishing the game is just kind of protecting the football, no turnovers, so don't lose fumbles, things like that. So Exhale. Woosah. But yeah, those are my three things. So protect Davis Mills, continue bringing the pressure on Russell Wilson, and just finish the game. Pretty much, they do those three things. They should be able to get a win. They should be able to get in the win column uh, for the first time this season, and keep it like that. So that's all I got for y'all this week. I said I was gonna be short. I lied. I'm long winded. My bad. So anyway, I'm Brandon Simmons from BrandonSimmons.biz. Holla black.